I was howling laughing early on and throughout. The bullets fly, stuff blows up, and the character actors do not stop coming. It's the Instigators.
It's wicked awesome. It takes place in Boston. It is accidental Boston Day here at Breakfast All Day because we have the Instigators, and then we just talked about It Ends With Us, which is also set in Boston, although not as authentically as this movie is. You got to subscribe if you have not, because we do everything around here. We do big blockbusters, we do little August movies, we do everything in between, and we'd love to have you here for all of it, especially as we head into the fall festival season and all the awards contenders.
I got a once-in-a-lifetime score. You the Marine?
Yeah.
You the ex-con?
Yeah, I did time, but you only got to cast aspersions.
Matt Damon and Casey Affleck are the titular instigators, although why they called this movie The Instigators, I don't really know, because that doesn't come up in any way that is meaningful.
It doesn't roll off the tongue, no.
It's just like, no, I guess they do things. They've instigated something here. So they are forced to come together to pull off this heist at a campaign event for the mayor of Boston. He's played by Ron Perlman. And so they have what seems like a simple enough job to go in and take the money that is waiting there in the safe from all the people who want their favors from the mayor. Of course, he's going to get reelected. He's very popular. So he's there at the behest of a couple of very angry people, one of whom is Michael Stuhlbarg, one of whom is Alfred Molina. And they're very different people, Matt Damon's character and Casey Affleck's. They are named Rory and Cobby, and things don't go well. And that's sort of the point of this movie. There's a shaggy quality to it. If you're looking for like clockwork razzle dazzle of like an Ocean's movie,
yeah, this is not Rafiki.
You don't get that. No, and that's the point of it, is like how this gets bungled and how they get out of it if they do at all. Matt Damon's character is a veteran and he has been suffering from PTSD. We see him in therapy with Hong Chau at the start of the film. So he's sort of in a precarious state and he's very withdrawn. And Casey Affleck is very much like, you know, the fast talking, you know, shit stirring Bostonian. And it's, you know, there's some chemistry there as far as how they get along or don't get along. I kind of like this. Like, it's kind of a mess. Like, it's not thrilling, but they have enough chemistry with each other that it works pretty well for me. Part of it for me, too, is the authentic nature of the Boston setting and just the way they talk and the sense of place. This is a movie that knows that the city south of Boston, spelled Quincy, is pronounced Quincy. They get the accents right. If you know Boston, you will appreciate, like I did, there's a car chase that takes place. It begins in the Back Bay. It goes out Storrow Drive. It crosses the Mass Ave Bridge and then goes along Memorial Drive past MIT and Cambridge. I'm like, yes, thank you.
You do this for multiple cities. You contain multitudes, man.
I'm so multi-purpose. But also I was just in Boston last week. So maybe that's part of it. Why I have a little soft spot for it. That they get these things right. They shot it in an actual bakery in the North End. So I feel like they get enough right as far as like these characters in the sense of place that I forgave the fact that it kind of spins its wheels a lot.
I fucking love this movie.
Oh, good.
I was howling laughing early on and throughout. I was so entertained. I was so engaged. You keep thinking, oh, well, now they're done for. And no, they somehow keep like failing upward and like the plot just gets more and more complex. And you think there's no way the movie can keep the momentum going and keep the plate spinning. And it does. And Affleck and Damon are so funny together and have such a great rapport, and Damon is not giving anything and Affleck's giving too much, and it's a perfect balance. Hong Chau winds up being far more integral to the plot than you think she's going to be. She's a riot. The cutting away to again this feast of character actors. We didn't even talk about Paul Walter Hauser, Toby Jones, Ving Rhames, Andre DeShields. Like it is this mass of people, this, wonderfully, like, this is the kind of thing that Doug Liman does so well. These wonderfully labyrinthine things but he makes it completely make sense. And you always know where you are and why and who's where in relation to whom. And yeah, there's these big, massive car chases that they somehow emerge from. You think, okay, everyone, the troopers from 3 states are chasing them. How could they possibly get away? And they do in a way that makes sense. I was utterly entertained from start to finish. This is one of the funniest movies I've seen all year.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Also, the car chase, Matt Damon driving a car in a crazy car chase is like, calls back to the Bourne Identity, which Doug Liman directed,
Sure.
but
Yeah.
it does not have any of the kind of slickness of it.
No.
There's like a raw kind of quality to it, but enough recognition there that's like, this is like that, but different.
Yeah.
And also they were in Jerry together. Casey Affleck and Matt Damon.
Yes.
Also kind of like wandering around, not accomplishing anything. This is like that.
That's a hell of a double feature.
Yeah, no. So yeah, I had fun too. And again, the sense of place has a lot to do with that. Like a lot of it takes place at Government Center. There's a big centerpiece at the brutalist monstrosity.
Having seen Frederick Wiseman's City Hall, I do have an affinity for that building now.
Government Center. And then they go to a beach house in Salisbury Beach, which is like not far from the beach where my husband grew up as a kid. And things like that I liked a lot. I wish this were having more of a theatrical run. We were talking in our news segment about why do things get or not get a theatrical run versus going straight to streaming. And this, I think, was in theaters for a week and is now going to be at Apple TV Plus. And
it's mainly a business decision, it would appear. I don't think it's any kind of gauge of quality because I don't know that quality ever enters the conversation half the time. So it's a shame that you probably won't get to see this on the big screen. I didn't, but I watched it this morning on Apple TV and I had a blast.
Yeah. And at one point, because it's a Boston movie, of course they get coffee from Dunkin'.
Yes, even though one of the people involved in this conspiracy has his own bakery and his own coffee. And I was like, okay, we're stretching it, but it's Boston. I understand. We had Odie Henderson from the Boston Globe on Max Film this week to talk about Sing Sing with us, and the Globe just did a big spread about best and worst movie Boston accents, and his choice for worst, and I can hardly fault it for that, would be Rob Morrow in Quiz Show.
Kevin Costner in 13 Days.
Ooh, yeah, that's true. But I'm not expert enough to tell you whether or not the ones in this movie are good or not. But I figure if Affleck and Damon are on the case, like they certainly someone was paying attention. I super enjoyed this, like much more than I thought I was going to.
That's great. Okay, well then, what is your number on The Instigators?
I'm an 8.8.
Wow.
I really had a good time. I very highly recommend this. I think if you like a fun comic caper, heist gone wrong, mismatched buddy, whatever, like it's all there. It's all happening. It worked for me.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to say 7.3. Like I'm not as high as you on it, but I had a good time and I laughed a lot. So cool. The Instigators is streaming. Go check it out.